Good morning. My name is Brian Cashwell. I'm the music director here at New Thought and Unity in Cincinnati, Ohio. And we're going to start out with something wonderful.
And you're welcome to sing along. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul, in my soul. I can feel it in my heart, feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Oh no, no, no. Something wonderful, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my soul, feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart, feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Oh no, no, no. Something wonderful, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul. Don't you feel it in your soul? I can feel it in my heart, feel it in your heart, and it won't let go. Oh no, no, no. Something wonderful, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. All this love inside, we can let it shine. Something wonderful, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, oh so wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful.
Angel's Wings. One day only, Black Friday at Angel's Wings, November 24th from 10 o'clock a.m. to 2 p.m. They will not be open on Thanksgiving, but they will be open the day after. 50% off almost everything in the shop, excluding purchases under $1 or previously purchased items. 50% off new purchases only. Lots of new items and loads of Christmas decor. Angel's Wings is open today from noon till 3 p.m.
There is a GoFundMe fundraiser for the purchase of a new elevator. Kim Ballou has organized this fundraiser to be used for the purchase of the new elevator for the center. Donations can be made directly to the GoFundMe page using the link provided in the email blast and on our website. We're ringing back here. We have currently raised $1,320 of our $25,000 goal.
Child care. We're happy to announce after much anticipation, in-service child care has returned to our center. Let's give it a hoo-day. Hoo-day for child care, amen.
I another Who Day for meditation with David McClanahan today at noon in the chapel. $5 love offering is suggested.
NTUC holiday choir practice. That's going to happen today at noon in Classroom A. Come join us. NTUC will also be hosting rehearsals on December 10th and 17th. Yeah, please come out, hang out with us. No experience required. Just come and have fun and sing.
Today, we're going to have the Will Tuttle PhD workshop. Dr. Tuttle will be presenting his workshop, Opening the Intuitive Gate, the Keys to Developing Your Intuition. There's a little bit of a change in that. It is going to be at 12:30, and it will be in the sanctuary. So if you're doing something else at that time, come when you're done. So
We'll see you there.
we'll see you there.
A Course in Miracles. Next class is Tuesday, November the 21st at 6:30 p.m. at the center. Facilitated by Susan Bartels, who's in the back. It's a $5 love offering suggested, so we should like to see you there.
The next class of Circle of Light Spirituality Soul Study Group is on Wednesday, November 22nd at 6:30 in Friendship Hall and via Zoom. $5 love offering is recommended, co-facilitated by Barb Meyer and David McClanahan.
New Thought Unity Center's first annual Holiday Bazaar and Wellness Fair is occurring on Saturday, December 2nd. There will be craft vendors of all kinds, card readers, Reiki and Healing Touch healers, food, beverages, and more. Raffle tickets are on sale. Volunteers are needed for the Holiday Bazaar. See Susan Bartels to purchase your raffle ticket and sign up for your shift.
Fiona the Musical is coming to the Ensemble Theater. And David Kaiser has made a limited number of tickets available to see the production. However, it is on December the 3rd and beginning at 2 p.m. So tickets for adults are $36. For children, they are $24. And today is the day that you need to make the decision about getting your ticket because the performances are sold out. That performance is sold out, and the theater wants to know if these tickets are sold. So today, see David and let him know you want a ticket.
Yes, today is the last day for those tickets. Lighthouse Youth and Family Service, NTUC, is once again collecting donations for their annual holiday gift drive. The holiday wish list of approved items can be found in the sanctuary and in Friendship Hall. All items must be new. Deadline to donate is December the 10th.
After service today, join us in Friendship Hall for a little more communion, a little coffee, tea, and light snacks. And then make it to your various other things that you're going to do today.
At the center.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Now I'd like to welcome to the platform Dr. Will Tuttle. He will be, I'll tell you more about him later in the service, but he's going to say our affirmation, and the microphone's on the...
Good morning. I love those 70s songs. Thanks so much. That was beautiful. You know, isn't that great? It's true. It's a bright, sunshiny day, and it's great. Madeline, let's have a hand for Madeline. My wife from Switzerland is with me, too, here this morning. And we're just beginning. We're on the second week of a 5-month lecture tour to Unity churches around the country. And it's great to be with you this morning and to remember you all, some of you anyway. So I'd like to go ahead and join together in our affirmation. Yes. So that should be up there, yes. Together, I give thanks for the inner wisdom guiding me every day into greater joy, freedom, abundance, love, and authenticity for the benefit of all. I'd like to invite you to turn your attention within together and just take a moment as we begin our service to give thanks for this precious opportunity that we have to be together, for the bright sun of infinite wisdom that shines in our heart, guiding us every day to fulfill our destiny for this lifetime for the benefit of all beings. And we give thanks for each and every one who is with us here this morning, knowing that we're here on purpose to unfold our wisdom and joy and abundance and awareness, not only for the understanding and contribution that we can make to those around us, but for future generations as well, that we are part of an awakening on planet Earth of human consciousness at this critical time. We give thanks for the Unity teachings and the New Thought movement, knowing that every day as we go forth, we are awakening more fully to our true nature. Through the power and presence of the internal, ever-radiant sun of the inner Christ, we give thanks knowing this is so, and so it is.
So it is. Amen.
And let's join together in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. So it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now please stand and join us in singing our congregational Love Can.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Tell every child, woman and man, only love can. Only love can. Only love can. Love can. Hate cannot drive out hate. Tell every child, woman and man, only love can. Only love can. Only love can. Love can.
turn around, shake a hand, give a hug, simple namaste, greet your neighbors, make a new friend. And for those of you on Facebook, tell us who you are and where you're watching from. And we'll say hello to you later in the service.
There's no piano coming out? Okay. It's not in the... They said no piano was coming out in the front. They said no piano was coming out in the house. But whatever. You ready? One, two.
Woo! I feel a good vibration, healing and transformation all through this congregation. It must be unity. The experience is our mission. Universal wholeness is our vision. I am who I am is my decision. Must be, must be, must be unity. ATUC unity. Yeah.
All right, we can continue this fellowship after the service in Friendship Hall, but for now, if you would have a seat and say with me our mission and vision statements. Our mission statement is, in God, we are an inclusive, abundant community, experiencing love, transforming lives, and serving others. And our vision statement is, we celebrate a world of harmony and oneness, a place of loving stewardship, sacred connections, and pure joy, where all are welcome with honor and respect. And what we'd like you to know about New Thought Unity Center, above everything else, is that wherever you are on your spiritual path, whoever you are, whatever you look like, whoever you love, however you identify, you are welcome here. And we are grateful that you've chosen to be with us this morning. If this is your first time at New Thought Unity Center, there is in the back corner a newcomer's table. There are welcome packets back there which have a little gift for you. And they tell you a little bit about New Thought Unity Center. And after the service, Regina, there she is, will be back there and she can answer any questions that you may have. And now I would like to tell you a little bit about Dr. Will Tuttle. He is an award-winning writer, pianist, and composer, and has presented widely throughout America and worldwide. He is the author of the best-selling book, The World Peace Diet, as well as 5 other books. He has also taught college courses in mythology, philosophy, humanity, comparative religions, and creativity. His PhD dissertation in education from the University of California, Berkeley, focused on educating intuition in adults. A Dharma master in the Zen tradition, he has done intensive training in Korea and has practiced meditation for 45 years. He and his spouse, Madeline, a visionary artist from Switzerland, are devoted to promoting healing and awakening through spiritual education and uplifting piano music and art. Welcome to the platform, if you will, Dr. Will Tuttle.
And I'd like to go ahead and invite everyone now to join in our time of meditation. I'll be doing that from the piano. So let's become aware of our breathing now. With every exhalation, allowing ourselves to relax more deeply into this present moment. Allowing ourselves to let go anything that happened earlier today, and with every exhalation, we enter more deeply into this moment, the only holy moment is right now. And we allow ourselves to open to the feeling of gratitude and appreciation for this unity ministry and for this precious opportunity that we have now to abide in unity. And we give thanks for this beautiful outer sanctuary, which is a manifestation of the inner sanctuary, where we dwell always in unity with the infinite love that is the source of our life, the source of all life. We give thanks for all of the teachings of all the traditions that turn our minds away from the delusion of separateness to the truth of the infinite interconnectedness of all life. We give thanks for all of the teachers in our life, whose presence and challenges open our minds and hearts to the truth that what we are was never born and will never die. We give thanks for the inner teacher, guiding us every moment. And we give thanks for this community that makes this ministry possible. And we give thanks for this beautiful earth and for all living beings here. For all of the birds that are celebrating their lives in the air, for all of the marine animals in the waters, for all the animals living on this earth, and for the beautiful forests and rivers, mountains and valleys, islands and oceans, and the whole human family on the adventure of awakening to our purpose here. We give thanks knowing that the light that shines in the very heart of the universe is shining right now in our heart. Is shining in every cell of our being, bringing every dimension of our life into harmony and into alignment with the truth that we are, with the purpose and with the mission that we are here in this lifetime to fulfill. And so we allow now the music to open an inner doorway of awareness as we open to our true nature as infinite and eternal consciousness. As we come together in the light of eternal life, we give thanks for each other and for our loved ones, for the infinite web of life of which we are a part, for the benevolent source of all life that we may be. The hands and the eyes and the vehicles for loving kindness and compassion, for joy and freedom, for creativity and abundance, for blessing. May all beings be happy and at peace. May all beings be free. May we all realize the original brightness of our minds and hearts, and may we continue together to build a more enlightened society, a world that cares for everyone. Through the power and presence of the indwelling Christ, truth, we give thanks knowing this is so, and so it is. Thank you all for joining together in the meditation. I'd like to play a piece of original music before going into the talk. And I was just thinking, what am I going to play? I think I'll play this piece. It's called The Garden. And the melody actually came many years ago right when I met Madeline, actually, in Switzerland. Right before that, I was in Ukraine, and I was there as part of a citizen diplomacy. This is when it was part of the Soviet Union. And I was over there, and I was playing, and this melody came to me, and I wrote it down. And I'd like to share it with you now and dedicate it to the healing of our relations with each other on this planet so we can have peace together as we are intended. And so I'd like to just invite you as you're listening to let the music take you on an inner journey, and we can go on this together. This is The Garden. Enjoy. Thank you. It's really an honor to be back in this beautiful space again. Madeline and I have been here many times over the years, and to see some old friends, I really appreciate your coming out here. And yeah, I remember way back when Pat and Jack Barker were here, and many other ministers after that too. But this space has so much to offer, so many, not only memories, but a living presence of truth and love and compassion and creativity. So it's really wonderful to see the tradition being carried on. I think that's so important to remember that the wisdom teachings have come down through the ages, and it really is incumbent upon all of us to keep it alive and pass it on to our children. Because without that, things would be very dark. And these ancient wisdom teachings that we find in unity through Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, the New Thought movement, the world religious traditions, in a way are very simple, and they're based on understanding our true nature, but they're really based on completely rejecting in many ways, or questioning at least most of the fundamental ideas in our society, the way things are being run, and many of the things that we've been taught as we're growing up. And I love that you talked about inclusivity. I think really the whole essence of this movement is inclusivity, this radical inclusion, that we include all living beings within the sphere of our kindness and concern, and do the best we can to question any cultural narratives that undermine that understanding. And Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were great proponents of this idea in many ways. They embraced all the wisdom teachings of all the traditions. They really focused, of course, especially on Christianity and the beautiful teachings of Jesus. But they were open to the Buddhist teachings and other wisdom teachings, and also to the sacredness of all expressions of life, of animals as well as humans, and honoring them. And it's really beautiful to know that we have that kind of a foundation in this church, actually in this center, that we can try to live up to that, right? We don't have to apologize for anything. We can really try to aspire to the kind of wisdom and healing insight that they were demonstrating in a very humble and beautiful way. We just were in Unity Village less than a week ago, and there's such you can still feel it there at the prayer tower and the whole. And how many of you have been to Unity Village? Anybody? Some of you? Some? Yeah. It's like Mecca. If you got to get there once in your life, if you can, if you're a unitic. But Madeline and I have been really blessed to be able to travel really full time to Unity churches for over 30 years, almost every Sunday being at a Unity center somewhere in North America or in Europe, in Australia, in the Caribbean, wherever there's a Unity, we've been there. We've been to in all 50 states, except North Dakota. They don't have them, but when they get one, we'll be there. And it's great. I think, probably we've been to more Unity churches than anyone at this point, just because we're still going strong. But I think it's great to see this movement and its vibrancy continuing, because I think in many ways it's one of the healthiest movements on our planet, in the sense that it is based squarely on this idea of inclusion, and also on the idea that goes with that of each one of us having our own direct connection with spirit, right? Like Charles Fillmore said it like this. He said, each one of us should go straight to headquarters, right? Each one of us can go straight we don't need an intermediary. We can go straight to headquarters. And I think for Charles it was kind of easy, because that basically, for him, it meant I'll just ask Myrtle. But for the rest of us, we have to kind of figure these things out. And I think it's great to realize that we have that capacity. And so that's what we'll be talking about this afternoon, is intuition, our capacity to connect deeply with our own inner wisdom. And the main thing that intuition offers us, it doesn't mean that our life will be easy, that everything suddenly becomes simple, but it does mean that we'll be living our life, not somebody else's life, or the life that we're being pressured into living. We'll be living our own life, and when we do that, we find this bubbling spring of joy that begins to percolate inside of us, and it's always there, but we tend to ignore it or suppress it. because we're always wishing we would have done, or I wish they would have done, or I hope I don't do, or I hope they don't do, whatever. We're always in this continual struggle in many ways to try to find our way through, but through meditation. How many of you have a regular practice of some kind of spirituality? I think it's really good to have a regular practice of returning the mind and connecting with the inner silence. And through that, we can begin to connect with our inner wisdom. So I'd like to just say a few words. I can see it's getting kind of already a little bit late in the service, but I want to say that the most important thing, I think, really for us is to remember and take time every day to remember, bring it back together, that there's more to us than this physical body. We're taught in our society that this is what we are, this material thing. And that is a lie. That's not true. And as long as we're deceived by that, we're going to be struggling with each other. In the Buddhist tradition, they call that samsara. Samsara means suffering that never ends until delusion ends, right? As soon as the delusion ends, the suffering ends. But the delusion is materialism, believing that this is all there is. And in the ancient Buddhist tradition, actually, there was, as the original symbol of Buddhism, before, they never had statues and all that stuff. That came much later. It was a footprint, it was a symbol. And I think that's a really good one to remember that, because if you go to the beach and you're walking along the sand and you see a footprint, you're not going to go up to the footprint and say, well, good morning, George, how are you doing? That was a footprint. It's not the being that made the footprint. So remember, this is a footprint waving. We cannot see each other. We see a footprint. We see an outer expression. So the more we can connect with the being that makes the footprint here, the more we can see that in others. And when we see it in others, we become a healing force. Because instead of looking at the outer form, whatever the outer form might happen to be, whatever race or species or whatever it is, when we see the actual being, and we then call that forth, and then we begin to bring out the best, not only in ourselves, but in others, because we see the eternal. And that's really, I think, what Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were emphasizing, to see beyond the outer form to the being. When I was in college, some of you may remember this, but I just want to mention this. I was born and raised in Concord, Massachusetts, and I went away to Colby College in Maine. And when I was there, I started reading the Transcendentalists from Concord, Emerson and Thoreau. I learned to swim in Walden Pond, went to Thoreau School and Alcott School, and born in Emerson Hospital. So I thought, well, I got to read about what they were saying. And what they were saying was really influenced not only by Christianity, but a lot by Buddhism and Taoism and the Bhagavad Gita and so forth. And they were bringing a lot of these ancient wisdom teachings into our society back in the 1800s. And a lot of those have found their way actually into unity through Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, and very liberating. And I remember reading one book that kind of encapsulated all of this. It was written back in the 1890s. It was called Cosmic Consciousness. And the writer, his name was Richard Buck, he basically said that a few people had attained this higher level of consciousness. He called it cosmic consciousness. People like Jesus and the Buddha, and he gave quite a few great sages and saints and mystics, both men and women. And this higher state of consciousness is pretty clear. I mean, people who have attained this lose their sort of narrow, petty fear of death or fear of what people think of them, and they live to just be a blessing, and they have a sense of love and a sense of fearlessness and so forth, and a moral elevation. And he said, it is the destiny of all human beings to attain cosmic consciousness. This is really our purpose. And so I remember going back home on the college breaks and telling my parents, Mom, Dad, we're not here just to make money and have a job. We're here to attain cosmic consciousness. You know that, right? And my father said, well, I'm spending an awful lot of money on this education, and I'm not sure how that's going to help you get ahead in the world. But to my delight, my younger brother, Ed, when I talked to him about it, he said, yes, we've got to do this. We've got to attain cosmic consciousness. And so I remember we thought about it for quite a while, and then we thought, well, how do we attain cosmic consciousness actually? What do we do now? And then we came up with the idea. We knew how to do it without fail. We would go to California. And so we thought, all right, if we get to California, this was 1975, and so San Francisco was beckoning. And so I remember we walked down the driveway in Concord, Massachusetts, with some fresh-baked cookies from my mother and a little backpacks, and with no money, and we just headed west, walking. And we walked, and we thought we'd be like the sadhus of India who just walk and meditate and don't have any money and just, get enlightened or something. But we walked and walked, and we got as far as Buffalo. And in Buffalo, it was October, it was getting cold, and so we thought, well, we'll just head south. And so we walked south instead of walking west. We walked down through upstate New York and Pennsylvania into West Virginia, across West Virginia and into Kentucky, and they said, boys, you're in the Bible Belt. I didn't know what that meant, but I found out. That meant they try to save you every night. And we had an amazing experience, really. It was a great adventure, and we kept going into Tennessee. We eventually walked all the way to Alabama, ended up in a Zen center in Alabama, believe it or not. You probably think I'm lying, but there was a Zen center there in Huntsville. But on the way, we stopped at a place called The Farm for a number of, probably about 3 or 4 weeks. And The Farm at that point was the largest hippie commune in the world, and they were all from California, most of them. So we felt like we met them in the middle, and it was a great experience. They were all vegetarians. They called themselves vegetarians. They didn't eat any meat, dairy, eggs, or honey. We would call them vegans. But that was it. I never ate meat in my life since that time at the farm. And I found out when Madeline, I met her many years later, the same month and year, she also decided to never eat any meat in her life. And I'm so grateful. I always say the smartest thing I ever did besides going vegan was marrying Madeline. And we just had our 30th anniversary, and I just had my 70th birthday. I can't believe it. Time goes by so fast. But the point I just want to close with here is that on that walk with my brother, as we were walking, and we had no reason to have any happiness, right? We didn't have any security. We didn't have any money. We weren't doing what we were supposed to do. Everybody thought it was ridiculous. My parents, the whole thing. But I remember walking along, and I would have these waves of joy just washing over me somewhere in the hills of West Virginia or something. And there was no reason in the outer world, but what I realized it was that I was living my life. And I think all of us, to the degree that we make an effort to connect with our inner wisdom and live our life, that the sense of joy, the sense of gratitude will just come bubbling up, because that's really our true nature. It's always there. To be on this earth, how many of you have noticed by now the earth is beautiful? Anybody notice that yet? It's beautiful. And to just behold the beauty, to savor the beauty of this moment right now. Isn't this a beautiful moment we have? To be able to be together and understand that we're here, each one of us with a mission to awaken, and that as we do our inner work, we not only help ourselves, but we help everyone. And as we can help support this community, the New Thought Unity Center here in Cincinnati, then we help to bring this to people who are even walking by on the street outside, and we can bring this into our society. So I just want to close with that basic idea that each one of us can be part of the community here. In the Buddhist tradition, it's called the Sangha. The Sangha is the word for community, and that's one of the 3 jewels. The Buddha, which is the inner Christ, the Dharma, which is the teaching, and the Sangha, the community that upholds these teachings. And the Buddha said, without the Sangha, there will be no Buddha and no Dharma. So the community is so important in keeping us sane and keeping us on track and helping us to help others. So thanks to all of you for making the efforts that you're making to awaken the inner wisdom that is shining always inside, and then to create a context where we can celebrate this and do the actual practical, like Charles Emmerle Fillmore said, practical Christianity, the practical steps to help evoke this. I love all the different classes you have going on and the different activities that are happening. All of that makes a big difference. We're only on this earth for a few short decades, so every day is important. We can give thanks every day for another day. I'll just close with a short piece of music. This is called Benediction of Light, and we can just send forth our blessing to everyone in our community with this. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all so much. It's been a great honor to be here this morning. I just want to mention we'll be giving a workshop at 12:30 right here, and it's called Opening the Intuitive Gate, the Keys to Developing Your Intuition. You know, Albert Schweitzer said the key to happiness is good health and a short memory. And so that's really important to remember. And so we'll be teaching some techniques of meditation and imagery along with music and art to help everyone who's attending connect with your own unique way of accessing your intuition. So please join us then if you're interested, and thanks again for the great work you're doing. Thank you.
It's that time in our service where we say our offertory blessing. So if you get your offering in your hands, and let's say our blessing together. Divine love, moving in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. If you're a consistent giver, will you drop your consistent giving card in the basket as well? Also, don't forget, in the back of the pews, there's a QR code where you can just sit in your seat and donate that way. We have a credit card machine in the back. And for those of you online, you can push the donate button. And if you're sending it by snail mail, we appreciate that also. Our chaplains today are Loren and Susanna, and they're here to pray with you after service. Know that we hold sacred space before, during, and after service. And we can also give a chaplain hug. You'll feel the power of the love. There are prayer request cards in the back of the pews. So if you have a prayer request, feel free to fill out a card and drop it in the prayer box in the back of the sanctuary or downstairs in Friendship Hall. Alice?
Well, we've got a few folks online today that have said hello. We've got good morning and happy Thanksgiving from Teresa and Joe in Rockford, Illinois. Cheryl Ann is in Pleasant Ridge, and Joy Frederick is in Kodiak, Alaska.
Oh, wow.
We are seen far and wide. Also, I wanted to say thanks to everyone who is helped putting this service on together. Thank you to Will. Thank you, Madeline. All this lovely artwork, by the way, is Madeline's. And there's a lot of stuff in the back that you can look at as well. Would you like to bless the offerings and all?
So let us go to our heart space together. Sweet, sweet Spirit, we thank you for this day and this opportunity to be blessed by Dr. Tuttle, this opportunity to come together in love and know that the power of love is greater than anything on this planet. So we know these tithes and offerings have been given from the heart, and we know that it's because of these that these doors remain open. And we're so appreciative that our congregation is doing its part to make sure we're still here for generations to come. So we are all blessed, and we say thank you, and so it is.
So I want to thank the rest of the people that are here helping put this service together. Susan doing our sound. Barb having us seen worldwide, and Terry for putting everything together.
Yes.
Thank you to my fellow singers, Jenny and Althea, and to our music director and choir director, Brian.
And of course to Alice, and we also want to thank Joyce, our photographer, who keeps us on the Facebook. Thank you.
And also I wanted to let you know that Susan is back there. She's going to be selling raffle tickets for the bazaar after the service, so you can catch her early as well.
And don't forget to see David to get your ticket for Fiona.
And next week, George Witten will be our speaker for the Sunday after for the first Sunday of Advent as well. So things are moving along. Okay, it's time to grab a hand. I think we can make a circle all the way around the sanctuary today. And then we'll say our prayer of alignment and sing our peace song. on, stretch it out. We can do it. We got it. Okay. Wonderful. Our prayer of alignment is,
We
are
are
light. We illuminate the world. We are love. We love unconditionally. We are power. We are the divine in action. We are presence. We are awake to our divine identity. God is, I am, we are, and all is well. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, children all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my triumph vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. All this love inside, we can let it shine. Something wonderful, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right